Hello and welcome. My name is Caitlin. My pronouns are she, her, and this is yoga for LGBTQ empowerment. I'm very excited for our practice today. Know that you do not have to identify as someone in the LGBTQ community. Everyone is welcome, and this practice is really meant for you to recognize your power and your resilience and in yourself. So I'm super excited. Think about moving towards a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And before we get started, consider if you want to put on your favorite playlist or light a candle, make your space what you want it to be. The hardest part's over and you've set aside this time for yourself, so make it what you need. Today, our format will look like we'll start on our mat in the seat, like I said. We'll have some breathing postures. Then we'll move on to some warming, stretching. We'll have some strength and balance poses. I'm so excited. You can do this. I'm so ready. And then we're going to cool down with just a little bit of stretching. And we'll finish with a meditation that'll be a little over 5 minutes long. And it's part of a yoga nidra practice. Yoga nidra is called sleep yoga. So get excited. Think about a position where you would feel most comfortable to finish your practice. Maybe you want to think about grabbing some pillows or a cozy blanket, or some socks, or having a cat nearby, whatever. Just get ready to get cozy as we finish our practice together. And before we get ahead of ourselves, let's remember that everything is optional. So if I'm ever cueing a position and you know you will regret that thing tomorrow or you just don't feel like doing it, this is your time. This is your practice. Skip what I'm doing. Do something fun for yourself. Find what feels good and know that we will move on. And let's see. Pain. Pain is an invitation to explore something else. So if we're coming into a practice and we have persistent pain, that's where we want to think about being restful, taking care of ourselves, moving slowly and with intention. It doesn't mean you can't do yoga, but just listen to your body. And if you're moving into a pose that invites a new level of pain, listen to your body. Yeah, that's an invitation to do something else. So either back out of that shape or find a new shape that feels better and know that you're a yogi and you're taking charge of your own practice. And I think that's everything. Let's get started in your seat that you've chosen. It could look a little bit like mine with your legs in front of you. You might be resting on a pillow or a block. You can create a little bit of space between the hips and offer some support for the lower back if that feels good. Bring your awareness to the spaces where you're grounded, the spaces where your body touches the surface supporting it. Notice the temperature. Notice the feel of the body parts there. Even if you don't notice any sensations, that's totally fine. But you might notice temperature. You might notice the feeling of clothing on your skin. You might notice the feeling of air touching your skin. Then bring your awareness to your breath. There's no need to change your breath in any way. Notice where you are breathing. The temperature of your breath as it flows through your body, in and out of your face. The areas of the body that are moving with your breath. And for a moment, if you're ready to move on, we'll bring our hands together, palms facing each other in front of the chest. And I like to rub my hands together, create a bit of warmth. And then you choose where you'd like to place this warmth that you made. So it might be on your belly, your chest, or your shoulders. And as you breathe, notice how the body moves with your breath. The shoulders might rise and fall. The ribs might expand and contract. The heart lifts and comes back down. Notice the feeling of air moving your body. Inhaling and exhaling. You can always stay here. And if you're ready to move on, we'll bring our hands to our sides, palms facing up, and then lift your hands for the length of your inhale, just as you breathe in. And once you're full of air, when you're ready to exhale, we'll flip the palms down, press through the heels of the palms, and allow them to float down towards the mat for the length of your exhale. When you're ready to inhale, flip the palms, bring them high. And it doesn't matter how high they come, they might touch to the top, or they might just come as high as feels good for you. And then when you're ready to exhale, flip the palms and allow them to float down. Maybe they rain down. If having your hands far away from your shoulders is not comfortable, you can always bring your hands in your lap, overlapping your fingers, lifting them high, palms open as you inhale, and flipping the palms, dropping them down as you exhale. As you move and breathe, it's okay if this feels a little bit strange. Just focus on your breath. And once you think you have it down, bring your awareness to any sensations you might feel, like tingling in your hands and fingers, your palms, your shoulders, the top of your spine, the arms. Notice what you feel. We'll breathe here like this for 2 more breaths at your pace. Really nice. 1 more breath at your pace. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll slide the hands behind the hips and then bring the shoulders up towards the ears, give a little hug, and then roll them back and allow your chest to come up as your shoulders come back into a tiny little back bend. So shine the heart space up towards the sky. Your weight can come onto your hands behind you. Just making this as big or as small as feels good for you, opening the heart space, allowing the clavicles to smile. Strong in the neck, maybe looking up towards the sky or keeping your gaze a little bit down further if that feels better for your neck. Your choice. And when you're ready, we'll unwind the shoulders, bring them up towards the neck, and then let them go. And then we're going to lift one hand, reach it really tall and long. Maybe you find a side bend over towards the opposite side, or if that doesn't feel great, you can always extend and think about really reaching, lifting high wherever you are, breathing in to the side of the body that's lifted, thinking about filling the lung on that side, drawing the bicep towards the ear and not the nose, and drawing the lifted shoulder away from the ear as much as possible. Once you feel ready, we'll drop that hand and then lift the opposite hand. First reaching really tall, growing really, really, really tall. And then maybe you find a side bend, or maybe you just stay in that length, settling in, noticing the body, arriving in the shape, being curious about how the breath can support you as you stay here, making it home for 2 more breaths. Finding whatever feels good. Listening to you. Lovely. Okay, we're going to drop it back down and float the hands. Using the muscles of the core, we're going to twist over to one side and then drop the hands. So we're just dropping the hands and not twerking anything with our hands. Just allow them to rest. Use the muscles of your core to stay in this twist. You got this. We're going to inhale, reach the crown of the head for the ceiling like it's a balloon touching the top, tippy top of the building. And then on your exhales, we'll deepen the twist, even if it's just with your gaze, bringing the chin over the shoulder. Inhales, lift, and exhales, twist. Your twist, you decide how deep this is. Be kind to yourself. Beautiful. When you're ready, float the hands. Hello. And twist to the other side. Drop the hands down. Inhale, lift long. And exhale, twist. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhales to lift, creating as much space as you can between each vertebrae. And exhale, twist deeper. Even just with your eyes, yeah? No twerking, nothing painful. Being kind and noticing your body in this rotation. Beautiful. Let's unwind, and then we'll move with our breath. So bring the hands behind the hips. Inhale, reach tall, find your baby back bend. Exhale, unwind. Inhale, lift one hand. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the opposite hand. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, unbend, open up. And exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, float the hands. Exhale, rotate and arrive. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. And exhale, deepen the twist, even just with your gaze. Inhale, unwind, float the hands. And exhale, arrive on the other side. Really nice. Inhales, lift through the crown of the head. And exhales, deepen the twist, gently and kindly. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we'll unwind, sweep the hands behind. Exhale, settle. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, look up, draw the baby back bend, shine the heart forward. Exhale, unwind, arrive, head over heart. Inhale, float one hand. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, open high. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, opposite hand lifts. Exhale, maybe you find your side bend. Breathe into the side body. Inhale, open up. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, float the hands. Rotate to one side. Exhale, land. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, deepen the twist. On your inhale, unwind. Rotate to the other side. And exhale, drop the hands, arrive. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, deepen the twist. Beautiful. When you're ready to inhale, we'll unwind. And let's move to our cat-cow. So we're going to find our tabletop position. Our hands are going to be underneath our shoulders, and our knees are going to be underneath the hips. Know that you can always take breaks, especially with your wrists. You can always come back and do some wrist rolls or move back to a comfortable seat, whatever feels good for you. And we'll find our cat-cows if you're ready to move on. Dropping the belly, pointing the tailbone for the sky, hello, and looking up to the ceiling. Breathing deep into the belly. Getting it really big like a cow. When you're ready to exhale, find a Halloween cat. We're going to tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin to the chest, let go of all the air and round the back. Think about creating a lot of space between the shoulder blades. When you're ready to inhale, find your cow. Big, rounded belly, so happy, happy cow. When you're ready, exhale, Halloween cat. Maybe meow a little bit. Meow. Oh, nice. Feels good. Okay, 2 more breaths at your pace. Inhaling with cow. Exhaling with cat. So strong. Really nice. From here, find your child's pose. We're going to bring our knees a little bit wider than our hips. Sink the toes towards one another and then sink the heels down towards, sink the hips down towards your heels. Hello. Okay. And then we're going to walk the hands out towards the front of the mat and allow the heart to fall towards the mat. Maybe the head comes to rest on the mat as well. This is a great time to listen to your breath. Maybe whisper something kind to yourself or sing it. Whatever feels good for you. Settle in. Allow the spaces where your body meets the mat to melt in. Really just let go. Consciously release the tension in the muscles there. Notice your breath as your ribs expand with your inhale and contract with your exhale. 2 more breaths here, settling in. You can always stay here. If you're ready to move on, we'll come to lie on the belly, bringing our shoulders over the palms, allowing the legs to stretch long behind us. Okay, so I'm going to push the tops of my feet into the mat, so much so that maybe the kneecaps lift. There's little to no weight in the palms. Maybe they're even floating. Hello, palms. Cool. Not pressing into the palms so much, but really using our core strength to lift the head, neck, and chest, pressing the hips and the belly into the mat. For cobra pose. So drawing the shoulders back, breathing here, pressing into the tops of the feet, so strong. 2 more breaths. Love it. Let's float the head down, allow it to rest. You might bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet high and dropping the feet to one side and then the other. Or you might keep your legs extended and lift one knee up to the side and switch it out, just finding a little bit of a release in the back. Shaking the tail feathers just gently. Beautiful. When you're ready to move on, let's do one more cobra. So strong. So pressing into the tops of the feet, press them into the mat, lift the kneecaps, and then lift the head, neck, and chest. Just peel it off the ground. The gaze is a little bit in front of the top of the mat. This long line of energy from the heels all the way up to the crown of the head. Little to no wrinkles in the back of the neck. So think about really long neck and you're not jerking your gaze to look forward. So strong. When you're ready, let it go. Beautiful. From here, let's sweep our hands down, fingers reaching for the toes. And then when you're ready, we'll lift the feet, let them hover, press into the hips. So strong. Know that the belly's here, the muscles of the abdomen and the core to support you. If you would like to add more challenge here, you can float the hands and lift the head, neck, and chest up as well. Like a flying something. Name your favorite flying thing. I'm thinking of like a fluffy flying animal. That's imaginary, not real. Okay. Okay, beautiful. When you're ready, let it go. So strong. And then we're going to slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and lift the hips into downward facing dog. So take as much time as you need to get there. Maybe you come through tabletop. Lift the hips high. Point your tailbone for the sky. You might find some gentle movements, shaking your booty, or bending one knee and then the other, dropping one heel and then the other. You might shimmy your shoulders. Just settle into your down dog. And then once you're ready to find stillness, we'll allow the head to be really heavy. And then point the tailbone for the ceiling and consciously let go of the muscles of the backs of the legs. Just be like, hey, check out for a little bit. You can settle. Allow the heels to fall where they may. Let's be here for 3 breaths. You are strong. For 2. For 1. So beautiful. When you're ready, we'll meet in standing. So get there however you like. Some people like to take a bunch of steps forward towards your hands. Find a forward fold and then rain it up. Vertebrae by vertebrae coming to stand. Voila, we did it. Okay, we'll find our mountain pose and I'll face you guys so you all can see. For mountain, we're going to build the pose from the feet. So without looking at the feet, without looking down, can you bring your awareness to the soles of the feet and really press all of the toes into the mat as much as possible. Find the balls of the feet, press them into the mat, and then the heels. Settle in. Think about growing roots like a tree. Finding your place, your rooted place in your mountain. From there, once you're strong and stable, energetically draw your heels away from one another, like you're going to rip the mat in half from the middle. Wrapping the muscles of the legs around the frame. Beautiful. Press into the heels and lift through the crown of the head. Get really tall and long. So beautiful. From there, let's knit our ribs together or think about engaging the core. Find that central strength. Beautiful. And then once you're there, choose where you'd like your arms. They might be beside you, low, or they might be lifting high. Yogi's choice. Wherever your hands are, draw them away from your shoulders. Your shoulders are drawing away from your ears. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. Breathing here for 3 more breaths, noticing your strength, your power, your mountain. Really rooting down. For 1 more breath. We got this. Amazing. Okay, let's bring that rooting sensation into our right foot. Left foot is going to lift. Maybe it hovers, or maybe the knee comes up parallel to the hip and anywhere in between. So we're kind of keeping this rooted mountain sensation, still pressing the mat away with our right foot. Come in and out of it as you need, no worries. Find your steady center. Recognize the strength of your muscles wrapping around your frame to support this lifted leg. Keep the lifted foot active like it's going to step on a step in front of you, wherever you are. Beautiful. Love it. And then from there, we're going to sweep the leg back and find our warrior 1, our crescent lunge. So my front knee, my right knee is bent, and my back heel is lifted. Energetically draw your thighs towards one another like a scissor to square the hips for the front of the mat. Maybe your hands come to heart center, or maybe they lift high. Hands reaching away from the shoulders, shoulders reaching away from the ears, without feeling your breath moving with your hands. Can you notice where your breath is with your body, just like we did when we started practice? Two more breaths here, settling in. This can be a deep stretch. So check in with your foundation, take what you need, and then we're going to find warrior 3. So if your hands aren't already in the center, let's bring them to center and bring the weight towards the right foot. Bring the chest to hover over the right foot, and then you might even step the left foot towards the middle of the mat and straighten the right leg. This is your warrior 3. So have my left foot just kickstanding on the mat, or maybe you lift the left foot as the chest comes a little bit closer to the mat. So still thinking about a long line of energy from the left heel to the crown of the head, and just allowing that to kind of hover over the mat. Beautiful warrior 3s. Come in and out of it as you need. Really using the strength of the core to lift high here. And then when you're ready, you will land softly on the left leg. Left heel comes down and left toes open out to the left side. Still keeping a bend in the right knee. For warrior 2, let's hover the hands over the mat like a T. And then your gaze might come over the right fingertips. Drawing the shoulders towards one another, energetically lifting up through the abdomen, like finding this anchor point in this strongest part of our body, our trunk, just allowing it to feel so strong and connected. And from there, extending and reaching out, getting big, growing tall. 2 more breaths here. Warrior 2. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we'll drop the hands and find our star pose. So for star pose, our heels are going to come in, toes are pointing out. Then you might have a little bend in the knees. You might think about straightening the legs, reaching long and tall, pressing into the pinky toe edges of our feet to allow the crown of the head to lift, and then bring the hands in towards the chest. And as you slide the hands to the opposite shoulders, think about opening the shoulders, really stretching the fronts of the shoulders away from one another as much as possible, and drawing the backs of the shoulders towards one another like they're going to pinch a ribbon in front of your spine. Beautiful. You might stay here in your star, or you might extend the hands really long, palms shining out, getting as big as you possibly can. 3 breaths here. Taking up space. You deserve to take up space. There is room for you. Feeling long and strong, tall, big, like magnanimous. Yes, you've arrived. When you're ready, let it go. And we're going to pivot to the other side of the mat. So now our left knee is bent and our left foot is forward. Our right foot is back and our right heel is lifted up. Find your crescent lunge. Maybe the hands lift or maybe they're at heart center for 3 breaths. Settle in, feeling so strong. This is a balancing pose. So find your foundation. Trust the center of your core and grow from there. And make this your shape. When you're ready, build your warrior 3. So bring your hands to heart center if they aren't there already. Shine the chest towards the front of the mat and then find this long line of energy from the right heel now through the crown of the head. See this really long line. Then you might step the right heel forward, step the right foot forward, and straighten the left leg so much so that maybe your right toes are just a kickstand on the mat, or maybe they hover as the chest comes down towards the mat, like a lever. That's what I was trying to think of before. Hey. Cool. So make your warrior 3 know that it doesn't need to look like mine. All of our bodies are different, and your warrior 3 is perfect, complete as it is. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. Come in and out of it as you need. Play with it. So strong. Be curious about if you draw your navel into spine, if you knit your ribs together, do you feel stronger in the shape? When you're ready, we'll land softly on the right foot. Bring a bend back into the left leg. Right toes come out to the right side. Head stacks over heart over hips. Tee out your hands. Warrior 2. Pressing the left knee out to the left side. Making this your shape for your day. Your legs are so strong. This is not an easy practice. You got this. 2 more breaths here. Let it go. Open up to your star. Find your expression. Really open through the chest. Maybe you grow your hands wide. Maybe you hold the shoulders open. Pull them back. Let the chest be really proud. Yeah. Arrive. Get really big. This is my favorite pose. Extra points if the corners of your lips lift. So strong. 2 more breaths here. Inhaling to reach long. Exhaling to let something go. Inhaling to reach. Extend. Get as big as you can. Take up the space that you deserve. And exhale. Arrive. Beautiful. Let's do it again, shall we? Okay. Let's try first our chair. So before we go back and add on to what we just built, let's bring our feet together. Bring our weight into the heels so much so that maybe your toesies say hello and kind of dance a bit. Okay, we're going to bend our knees, pointing the tailbone for the mat as we find your chair pose. So it's like you're going to sit in a chair, but there's no chair. You got this. Okay, so we're going to draw the thighs towards one another. You decide how deep your knees bend. Maybe your hands come to heart center, or maybe your hands lift high, biceps drawing towards the ears, knitting the ribs together, so strong in the abdomen. I know you're working here. Remember, you decide how deep your knees bend. When you're ready, on an exhale, sweep the hands back. So pinkies are reaching for the ceiling, shoulders are drawing towards one another, down the back. So really open heart space, thumbs are pointed down. Engage the arms like they're so strong. You're going to lift off. Beautiful. Let's sweep the hands forward, reaching tall or to the heart center. And then when you're ready, sweep the hands back one more time, reaching through the pinkies. The pinky fingers are reaching. You're so strong. You got this. Okay, let it go. Stand tall. Hand. Maybe take some water. When you're ready, we'll meet with our left foot back, right knee bent, crescent lunge. You got this. Okay. Find your crescent lunge. Arrive into your shape. Be curious about what you need to do to allow this shape to be home for you, to be comfortable, to be easeful, kind to you for 2 more breaths. Maybe it's just telling your legs you are strong. You can do this. When you're ready, find your warrior 3. So the hands are going to come together. Maybe the back foot floats, maybe it doesn't. And then on your next exhale, sweep the hands back, just like we did in our chair. So really opening through the chest, like we're going to lift off, finding your airplane pose. So just like you did in warrior 3, play with coming up and down, floating the airplane, or reaching the airplane long and tall, keeping this kickstand on the back. Totally up to you. You got this. When you're ready, warrior 2. Get there however you like. So long, so strong. Star pose. Heels in, toes out, reach long. 2 breaths here. Yeah, you got this. And then we'll flip to the back. Left knee's in front. Right heel is lifted. Crescent lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out, arrive. Find what you need to make this shape yours for 3 more breaths. When you're ready to move on, warrior 3. Fly, friends. Airplane arms. Extend the pinkies back, really reaching towards the back of the mat. Point the right toes down towards the mat. Square the hips. Maybe you fly further forward. Maybe you fly further up, higher. Totally up to you. 2 more breaths here, making it your pose, opening through the chest, recognizing you're strong. And when you're ready, land the plane into warrior 2. 2 breaths here, settling in. When you're ready, let it go. Let's find our tree pose. So, tree pose is a balancing pose. And it's one that we can do really anywhere. So much fun. Okay, think about bringing that rooting sensation. We're going to build our tree on our mountain. So, find that mountain pose and that rooting and growing tall. And then we'll bring the rooting sensation into the right foot. Left knee is going to open out to the left side. Left heel comes up. Left heel is going to find the right leg. Maybe you stay with your left toes resting on the mat. Maybe your left toes float and your left foot finds your right calf. You can always assist it to find your right thigh. Just be sure to avoid your knee. Cool. So once you have a strong foundation, you want to press your right leg into your foot and have this like anchor point beyond just the roots of your right foot. So pressing the mat away, growing tall there. And then you have a strong anchor point where your foundation of your tree is. You have a strong strength in your core. And then when you're ready, grow your branches. Make whatever tree you want. Beautiful. Come in and out of this shape as you need. And with balancing poses, it can be helpful to find a still spot in the room in front of you. So bring your gaze to the wall or the window, something. There you go. Something in front of you that's not going to move. To keep your gaze steady as you breathe in your tree. Maybe once you've arrived in your tree, the wind rustles through your branches. So strong. When you're ready, let it go. Shake it out. And then we'll build a tree on the other side. Build your tree on your mountain. Yeah, find that rooting sensation, wrapping the muscles around your frame. And then bring all of that strength to the left side. Right knee opens out, right heel pops up, finds left leg or left ankle. Press the left leg back into the foot, making your anchor points. Feeling strong, shining the hips forward as much as possible. Bringing strength in the core, so much love in the stomach and the belly. You have so many muscles along your back, along your front. Allow them to support you. Trust yourself and grow your branches. They could be anywhere. When you've arrived, maybe your wind rustles through your leaves. And once you feel strong and steady in your tree, let it go. Beautiful. And we'll take a wide-legged forward fold. You can take this wide-legged forward fold on your bum and just have your legs extended on the floor and fold from there if you don't want to bring your head below your heart. But if you're fine folding while standing, you might find a block or a table to rest your hands on. Bring the mat to you. We'll bring it in front of us and have a little bit of a bend in the knees, and then fold forward, bringing the head towards the mat, bringing the hands down. Maybe they find a block, maybe they find the mat. Allow the head to be heavy here. Shake the head, yes and no. Allow the neck to release. Allow the shoulders to let go. Notice where you feel a stretch. Maybe in the back body, maybe in the legs, the hips. Maybe you don't feel a particular spot. Notice what you feel and know that whatever you feel is perfect. It is complete. Two more breaths here in the forward fold that you have chosen. When you're ready to move on, we'll bring the hands to the hips if you're standing and keep a generous bend in the knees and slowly bring the head back over the heart, over the hips. And then we'll come down to our mats. Like my favorite part of yoga class. Okay. We did it. And actually, let's go all the way down. Find the mat with both shoulder blades. Extend the left leg long, point the left toes for the sky, and then bring the right knee in. Hug it with some love on your palms. Notice this sensation here. Kind of this like pulling of the right leg and this pushing of the left leg, pointing the toes, pressing the left leg into the mat. You can do things, multiple things at once. And then from there, we'll bring the sole of the left leg to the mat, so bend the left knee, and then we'll cross the right ankle over left. Right knee comes out to the side for our figure four. If this is enough of a stretch in the hips, fantastic. If you'd like a deeper stretch, first you want to keep your shoulders grounded and then use your hands or a strap or a blanket to bring your legs up towards your chest. So you want to keep the upper body resting as much as possible and hold on to your legs here. Allow the stretch to be in your hips. The backs of the legs. Consciously letting go of the muscles of the core. Using your hands to guide your legs in this shape. Support. When you're ready, we'll allow the knees to come down towards the left side for a supine twist. So we're going to stack our right hip over the left, and if this is too intense of a twist, you might just unwind your legs and stack your right knee over your left. Think about finding the mat with your right shoulder blade. Maybe your hands come to rest on your chest or your belly button, feeling your breath. Or maybe you choose to tee out, goalpost your arms. You might deepen the stretch by looking over the right shoulder. This can be a really intense shape, and a lot of muscles can come together to kind of get us here. Once you've arrived, chosen your shape, from the toes all the way to the crown of the head, check in with the muscles of the body and be curious if your muscles are active. Do they need to be active, or can they let go? Just allow the stretch to be passive. Take a few breaths to settle into where you rest. So strong. Sometimes that letting go takes more than I expect. Still worth it. Settle in. Okay, friends, you can always stay here. If you're ready to move on, we'll bring the muscles of the core together to protect us as we drop the right hip back to the mat. Extend the right leg long. Bring the left knee in for a nice hug. Hello. And really think about pressing the right leg down into the mat, pointing the right toes for the ceiling, reaching through the right heel, and then drawing the left knee up. So don't hurt yourself, obviously, but just give the left knee a nice little hug, and think about this push and pull, this expansion and contraction, opening and closing. Might feel different on this side than the other. When you're ready, we will plant the right foot on the mat, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Find your figure 4. So if you took a certain variation on one side, try it on the side, and if it doesn't feel right, adjust. But I always say give it a nice try on both sides. Settle the shoulder blades. Can you consciously allow the muscles of the abdomen to relax? Maybe not. It's okay. Just be curious. And as you're ready, when you feel even on this side, we will drop the knees over to the right side and look over to the left. Find where you want your hands. Maybe they're resting on your abdomen. Maybe they're goal posted out to either side. You might look over your left shoulder to deepen the twist. This is too intense with your legs in a figure 4. You can always unwind them and stack the left knee over the right, or stacking the left hip over the right. Settling in. Being curious about what's holding you here in the shape. Can you allow your muscles to release their tension? Trust that you are safe. And if you need more support, you can bring a pillow behind your hips to your back on your left side, of course. You can always stay here if you're ready to move on. We'll find our last pose, yogi's choice. So maybe you're laying back with your legs extended, your arms at your side, hands settling in. I'm going to lead us in our yoga nidra meditation, and I'll have my eyes open the whole time. And when you're ready, we'll close out our practice together in a comfortable seat. So for now, settle into where you rest. Find a comfortable position. Let your body be fully supported by the earth beneath you. Close your eyes or soften your gaze if that feels safe for you. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Let go of something you're carrying. Let go of effort. Allow yourself to arrive. Silently repeat this empowering intention or speak a truth of your own. I honor my resilience. I stand in my power. I am enough. Let this intention settle into your heart like a seed. Lovingly bring your awareness to your body, part by part. Right foot, right ankle, right knee, right thigh, left foot, left ankle, left knee, left thigh. Move slowly through the body. Invite ease and presence. Let each part soften as you name it. Notice your breath. Feel the inhale as a rising wave of strength. Feel each exhale as a release of tension and fear. Let your breath be your anchor. Now invite the feeling of resilience. Recall a time when you overcame something difficult. When you stood up, spoke out, or survived. Feel the strength in that memory. Let this strength fill your chest your spine, your whole being. You are powerful. You are here. Imagine yourself standing tall on your mountain peak. The wind is strong, but you are stronger. You wear a cloak woven from every moment of courage, every act of self-love, every truth spoken. The sun rises behind you, casting golden light on your path. You are radiant. You are unshakable. Repeat silently or aloud, I am resilient. My truth is powerful. I rise with grace and strength. I am worthy of love and respect. I am a force of authenticity. Come back to your breath. Acknowledge your breath as a sign of your resilience. Feel the quiet rhythm of your inhale and exhale. Let it remind you of your inner strength. Return to your intention. I honor my resilience. I stand in my power. I am enough. Let it echo softly in your heart. Then start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Maybe wiggling or rotating the wrists and ankles. Maybe you take a good morning stretch, reaching the hands up overhead. Or shimmying from one side to another. And then when you're ready, slowly and with intention, we'll come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Or feel free to close out your practice, laying back as you are. Often in yoga, we'll bring our hands together in front of our chest to close out our practice. I like to rub my hands together, create a bit of warmth. And you can keep them palms facing or stack them over your heart. You're important already. You always were. Your light is honored. Your presence is treasured. You are loved. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in this practice. Thank you for sharing your practice with me, and thank you for making this time for yourself. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.